Welcome everyone to our new YouTube video for today. My name is Dimitrov.
And my name is DimitrovBoelee.
And today we are going to talk to you about the Waltz by Chopin, Opus 34, number 2 in A minor. Today we decided to talk to you about distinguishing the melody from the accompaniment. And since this is a piece which is quite advanced, there is so much more going on. For example, in a very simple pieces, you would have a simple melody in the right hand and some very simple bass line in the left hand. But in this case, we have much more. And when we have a piece that's as complex as this one, it's very important to find out what's more and what's less important, because only then the piece sounds truly good. If we don't do all this, here's how the piece will sound. So as you can hear now, everything sounds the same, but if I make the difference and if I distinguish the right balance between the different voices, here is what we get. We're going to talk to you about and explain how to achieve this second version I showed you. As you heard, I played the left hand more clear than everything else, because actually that's our melody, this. And I played everything else, especially, of course, the right hand, softer.
So as a first exercise, we're going to play the left hand only the melody. So without the lower voice, we're going to play only the upper voice, which is the melody. Etc. This is a great exercise because you need to get used to playing the main voice without any other distractions, not the distraction of the pinky holding the lower note and not the distraction of the right hand accompanying. And the reason we're not only separating the two hands, playing your left hand separate, but also playing only the upper voice, is because the lower voice, if you play it together, it is tricky to distribute your weight. Because you have to hold your pinky, you have to push down, and it's a bit tricky to also have some weight left for the upper voice. Better that you get used to the upper voice separately, so you can focus on how the melody sounds and you can focus on the fingering, and you can focus on playing it very clearly without the distraction of also holding your pinky.
Elvira mentioned about proper fingering. That's actually something very important in this exercise. As you see in the score we provide for you, because there will be a link and you can use the same score we're using. As you can see in the score, there is a fingering. We strongly recommend that you use that fingering, because if you start playing with random fingering, then when you put everything together, when you put the left hand together, both voices, and you put the right hand, it wouldn't make any sense. The whole purpose of this exercise is to do everything with the exact same fingering from the score, in the exact same fingering you're going to use when you play everything together. Let me show you a little example of what happens if you actually use random fingering. For example, in the score, the melody starts with first finger, and that makes sense only because we have two voices. But if we had one voice, and if I'm practicing this one voice, it would make more sense that I start just with third finger the melody and just I go. But if I put both voices together, I have to stretch so much my hand. Still, it's possible, but everything is much more difficult, and not every person would be able to stretch, let alone feel comfortable and relaxed while playing actually this passage. And so that's why I said use the fingering indicator. Start with first and then follow exactly the fingering in the score, because that would make perfect sense when you add the other voice.
When you're comfortable with this exercise, it's time to expand a little bit, and we're going to do that by adding just the right hand. We're still going to play only the upper voice with the left hand.
Like this. If you add everything too soon together, it can become actually quite overwhelming. That all depends, of course, on your level, on your skills, but we strongly recommend that you add layer by layer, because then you can train your ears as well as your confidence will constantly grow. And so what we think is extremely important is that you practice the left hand alone, the melody alone, until you feel extremely secure and confident, and only then try to add the right hand. And when you put the hands together, feel free to go back to left hand alone, and then again go to left hand plus the right hand. You can definitely combine both ways of exercising.
When you do this in this way, you really train your ear to always recognize whatever voices you're playing and to hear if they're too loud or too soft in the whole balance. Now, one more of these combinations before we start putting everything together is playing the left hand separate, but this time we're going to play the whole left hand. So both voices, and try to pay attention to your weight distribution. You don't need as much weight on your pinky as you might think. You need just a gentle pressure to keep on holding it. Most of your pressure should go to the upper voice.
It's very nice that Elvira mentioned pushing the fifth finger, because very often I see people pressing very hard with their fifth finger. That indicates lack of confidence and lack of skills. So you need to definitely train that you don't push too hard. It will stiffen your whole hand, and so you won't have any attention, any kind of relaxation and skills to make really a nice sound of the melody. All the energy would go into being stiff and pressing down. So we strongly recommend that you actually don't push too hard, that you observe very carefully when you play, relax your fifth finger, and then actually start. Then check in the long notes. If your fifth finger is relaxed and not pushing too hard, continue. Check again. So use the long notes as kind of a rest place where you can check and observe if your fifth finger is nice and relaxed.
Having points for relaxation is very important. When you get stiff and tired hands, the likelihood that you'll play wrong notes is far higher.
Now, after you did these 3 exercises, we think you could definitely try and put all the voices together. But in order to do that, again, I have to repeat that it is extremely important that you do all the 3 exercises very well. You need to do them properly, you need to feel confident, you need to feel comfortable, and only then proceed to the second, third exercise, and finally, putting all the voices together.
Also, after putting your hands together for the first time, don't hesitate to go back again to all the exercises to keep on training your hearing and your skills.
Shifting between exercises is important no matter how far you are with the development of this piece. Actually, for example, us, when we're practicing, doesn't matter if we're in the beginning stages of practicing a piece or in the latest stages of practicing a piece, we always use combination of exercises that we applied throughout the whole process. This is what we wanted to share with you for this Sunday in this video. If you have any further questions about this piece or any other piece, as always, feel free to contact us.
Also, if you'd like to request a piece or a passage that you're having trouble with, let us know.
Don't forget that we upload a new video every Sunday, and if you like our videos, we would appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you're also interested to watch complete courses, we upload those on Udemy and Skillshare, and the links are below our video.
With the links in our description box, for the Udemy links you'll get a nice discount, and for the Skillshare links you get a 2-month free premium membership, which means that you can watch all our courses for free as well as all the other courses on Skillshare.
So check those courses out, and if you want to follow us, we're also on Instagram and Facebook. You can follow us there. For us, it was a pleasure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video next Sunday.